Ricky Black is coming. I think he's coming. I hope so. I hope. I see the van. I see the van here. Let's see. Here comes the van. Is it my man Ricky Black? Yup. All right. Hello, hello.
Yep, I'm here.
All right, all right. We are live and direct. So we are right now. We're currently live on TikTok. If you guys on TikTok, can you guys hear me? If you guys can let me know. Hey Linda, if you can let me know if you could hear me and if you could hear Jesse and David, I got them on the phone.
Yep.
So you could give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you can't hear me. You can hear me?
Linda,
Okay.
we need a thumbs up, Linda. You have to give us a thumbs up. It's critical to the process.
All right. So we are currently live. We're currently outside Sentinel State Prison, where we're currently waiting for my man Ricky Black to come out of prison after 25 years. And,
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
And we got Jesse and David on the line
Yep.
right here. You know, right here we're anticipating his release right now.
As you heard from the recording, we are currently live from inside Sentinel State Prison. And we are waiting for our man, Ricky Black, to step out that gate. So my name is David Isaac Lopez, and I'm currently serving a life sentence here at Sentinel State Prison. And I'm here with my cellie, Jesse Nava, who will be here shortly. He will be plugging in momentarily. He was, it's early morning for us right now, James, so we're kind of getting together. If we have some moments of silence, shake me awake. That's all I'm asking. Shake me awake. Yep, so Jesse's plugging in right now. Yep.
Hey, so let me ask you, what was...
West, y'all.
What up, Jesse? Hey, welcome back to a brand new episode of You Have a Collect Call From. Hey, so let me ask you guys. So what was Ricky? What was your experience with Ricky's last night in prison? Did you guys have like a powwow for him, like a going away party? How do you guys normally handle situations like that?
Well, there's a lot of rice everywhere. That's all I'm saying.
It was kind of like a wedding, but not a wedding.
That's all I'm saying, yeah.
It was more like a honeymoon.
Yeah, but not for Ricky. Not for Ricky. Nah, it was, man. Hey, let me tell you this, man. Ricky, we kind of seen like yesterday morning, right? I walked to work with Ricky. I walked to breakfast with him. I walked to work, and I kind of took some like snapshots of him, some mental snapshots of my boy walking, And I told him, I said, Rick, I just want to remember you like this, man. Just just cruising on by, being at peace, and going about your business for the last day, because it could be a long time before I see my boy again. It could be we might never see him again. And that's the crazy part about prison is like we spend so much time with each other that we develop deep friendships here. But Ricky's from a different part of California, than where Jesse and I are headed. So he's going to establish his life and set up, and the chances of us seeing him anytime soon are going to be slim.
Unless an opportunity presents itself to him, because I had actually spoke with him yesterday morning about it. And even though he has his plans and his intents are to stick to those plans, he's going to a big city like LA, and there's a lot of people out there that have paved the path ahead of him, and there's hella opportunities out there. So he said if something more lucrative or something more promising or just something more appealing comes his way, he's not opposed to revising his plans.
That would be great.
So his intent is to head out to Paso Robles. He's got great opportunity waiting for him there. But if something else presents itself in LA, he can always set up shop there. And if he does, then I'm sure we'll see him again.
That'll be cool. Ricky was like his last days in prison, but especially yesterday, everybody kind of wanted to be around him just for a little bit. Some people wanted to spend a lot of time with him, and those of us, that it's bittersweet for some of us, like it's like, man, I get, Ricky turned out to be a great friend of mine. Ricky and I met each other in a fight, in a good old-fashioned prison battle in another time. And so to watch his transformation, to see who he is today, last night I seen him talking to some of the fellas. You get the usual stragglers like Felipe and the guys who are going to board soon. Kind of like Ricky was like a Buddha walking around, like a Lucky Charm. You can kind of see like
belly.
Yeah, like Vic and Mighty. There's a dude here named Mighty. He's going to board really soon. Vic's going to board in a couple days. Jesse's going to board. Yes, Jesse Nava going to board in a few months. About 8 months, 7 months. And so you could tell the guys who are just like, you know what? Whatever the hell happened, I want just a little piece of your magic.
Yeah.
To take in there with me.
And it's not even just it's not even just being in the presence of somebody going home and hoping to get some good juju off him. One thing about Ricky was definitely a board master. He studies the process like very few do, and so it's always, and he's never hesitant about engaging in board conversation. And that's exactly what we were talking about last night at the table, before they did day room recall, is anybody that intends on getting out of prison and staying out of prison, they have to make the board process and their rehabilitation, their recovery, their way of life. It can't just be something you're doing in traffic or in moving. Like, it has to become you. You have to learn the ins and outs and the intricacies of the process so you truly understand and it becomes you. And that's how Ricky was. So that's, for me, it's like Dave said, it's bittersweet, because Ricky's the one person. There's not really anybody here, to be honest with you, that I go to except for one other person that truly understands the board process that I go to for advice, and Ricky was the one person who I always used to engage in that with, so it kind of feels like, all right, now that he's gone, I feel like I'll essentially be preparing by myself because the other person will be gone by the time I go, so in the end it'll just be, and unless you're going through the process, you can't truly understand it. So that's the thing that and Ricky does. He unfortunately for Ricky, he had to go through hella loopholes. And I do believe I'm going to have the same luck as Ricky because that's just how it is. It can be bringing pussies outside and they get hit in the head with a dick,
Yeah. No, it's true. And let me ask you a question, Jess. For the people out there that say, right, well, they just let a killer out. A killer just got out of prison. How do you respond to something like that for the people that don't understand who's actually walking out the door?
Oh, yeah. If they want to truly understand who Ricky is, or any of us that are getting out of prison, because all of us are, by society standards, are murderers, and that's exactly what we were when we walked in this door. But they need to go back and listen to the journey of transformation for Ricky and any of the rest of us. But Ricky's 100% a different person than the person he was when he walked in these doors. The person he was. Ricky's been doing time for 45 years. And the person he was for basically the first 40, for 40 of those 45 years, he was a bad dude, and he was right where he belonged. But he spent the last, 5 to 7 years transforming himself, and he's not that person. You're not defined by the worst decision you've ever made, and Ricky's, it doesn't make the impact of what he's done any less. But as far as transforming, he's undergone the process. He's done everything he had to do to make himself a better person. So for people who don't understand, they would have to encounter Ricky. They'd have to look at what Ricky's life was and see who he is today, and they would be 100% convinced that he's a different person.
Yeah, I didn't see a killer walk out this building.
Nope.
I didn't see a killer walk out this yard. Ricky is not a killer.
Nope.
Ricky took somebody's life, and he's taken responsibility for what he's done. You can't atone for something like that completely.
Yep.
Just as Jesse and I are here for taking somebody's life. We have the time that we have coming for doing something like that.
And the thing with Ricky's responsible for somebody losing their life. He didn't actually take somebody's life. He ordered somebody's life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was actually a friend of his, and it was a tragic, it was a tragic thing that happened, but he didn't actually order the man to be murdered. He actually ordered him to be checked, but that just goes to show how distorted people's perspectives were back then, that you think you can spank somebody with a knife, or you think you can punish somebody with a knife, and there's not potential deadly consequences, and that's what happened in his situation.
Yeah, that's, and it's crazy how everything happens, but, all that time ago, and he's done crazy stuff in prison, throughout his time, but like I said, that's a different, it's like a whole different piece of a different puzzle, the guy who walked out today, this morning, I saw him walk by, and he just looked like he had a light about him, and his last words to us, it's real.
Yep. Here, hold on, I gotta get this thing.
It's real.
Hey, so let me say something. So for anybody that's watching this right now, I know you guys are asking a lot of questions. So we're currently outside Sentinel State Prison. We're waiting for the release of Ricky Black, and I'm gonna ask you guys for a favor. And no, it's not money. What I'm gonna ask you for is free. If you guys could go ahead and hit the hearts, if you guys could share this stream. If you guys could share this stream, if you guys could run it up so we could have at least 20,000 likes, so we could get to the FYP.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
All right, I see.
Yeah, I was just messing around when you said you're gonna ask for a favor and it's not money. And when you gesture like, "Hey, well, speak for yourself."
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
I don't know about James, but I
need some money. I don't know about you guys out there. It's gonna hang up right now. So we'll give you a call back.
All right, cool. Thank you. Somebody asked, why is it so important to see him released? Well, you know what? Hey, so what you gotta understand is that I started talking to these gentlemen about 2 years ago with the vision of getting their journey, who they are from their first memory as a kid to where they're at now. And when I started this, I never envisioned myself being out here meeting with them when they walk out these prison gates, if you will. So over time, speaking to them, I'm getting to know them, and I want to know more about them, and I wanted to be there when they get released, and here we are. I have that opportunity now. If you want to see it, cool. If you don't, you don't,
Esta es Global Talent. Usted tiene una llamada propagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Sentinel, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Tel-Link.
Hello, guys.
James. Yes, sir.
All
yep,
right.
We're here.
So somebody asked me in the chat, they were like, why is it so important to see him get released? And what I was saying right now, while you guys were not on the line was, I started speaking to you guys a little bit under 2 years ago, and I was getting your guys's, your guys' journey from the earliest memory that you guys can remember as a child to, multiple events that happened out through your life. It will ultimately landed you guys in prison. Speaking to you guys 2 years,
Yeah.
I'm getting to know you guys, and I never envisioned myself coming out here to the prison. I was just thinking I'm gonna be cool at the house with air conditioner, talking to you guys, picking your brains and whatnot, and obviously within that time is, the channels evolved, from video, from phone calls to video visits, and now to prison releases. Seeing you guys walk out them gates. I've committed myself to this journey with you guys, from the time I started speaking to you guys to where you guys are at now, and hopefully eventually I'm gonna be able to meet up with you, every single one of you out here when you guys walk out the gates. So that's why it's important for me to be out here, because I wanna see them, come full circle, if you will.
Yeah, and what's crazy is that our journey, especially Jesse and I, right? Mine and Jesse's. So there's been people that have come across our paths that help shape who we are today, and that wasn't always good. Most of the time, it was bad. We both came into the system very young. We came in as kids, and we developed a bond with each other. And with Jesse and I've known Jesse since I was young in the system, and since we were teenagers. All right, so we come in, we eventually get into the adult prison system, and there was a whole different generation of guys that were there, and they had a bond with each other. And it turns out that their bond ran a little bit deeper. their bond was forged in blood and and chaos, and those were the people that kind of swooped up kids like Jesse and I, and it helped to shape who we were in a negative direction. We walked down some pretty dark paths. Now, along the way, there was good people. There were lights. We had no light at the end of the tunnel. There was strong women in our lives. There was family. There was really true friends that helped veer us back in a different direction. And you're one of those people, James. You're absolutely one of those people. And yes, you've been in our lives for 2 years, but in this past 2 years, just some of the people that we've met through this channel are also lights on our journey that are helping us forge the path, and you guys out there listening and maybe wondering, well, who are these guys? These guys are who? These guys are lifers. These guys are taking somebody's life. These monsters. And look, we're just like Jesse said. We're not defined by our worst mistakes. We're human beings. Also, we've gone through a lot of trauma, a lot of pain. We have a story. It doesn't justify anything we did, but we don't have to live in that filth, in that that horrible lifestyle that we were a part of for so long. And that's why I feel like this channel is so important, because you've walked this journey with us, James. Like, you picked up the torch and you're like, you know what? I don't know what the hell at times that we're doing, but that we're doing something for good.
And I think that's why it's important to answer that guy's question. That's exactly why it's important to see this. Because everybody out there has a perspective and a perception of prison, of murders. I mean, the hottest thing out there right now in entertainment is true crime. The hottest thing out there. I myself, I'm addicted to it myself. I watch court TV all day, 48 hours. Dateline,
Judy.
Yeah, I watch all the true crime stories over. For some reason, and I've seen. And everybody out there is fascinated. They listen to podcasts on true crime, this, that, and the other thing. So you're constantly being fed the monster side of violence and crime and prison, and just you never get to see what it looks like.
The human side.
Exactly, on the human side, on the other end of it. And trust and believe, prison is full of those monsters, because we were all those guys at one time. This is exactly where we belong, and everything you see is exactly who we are. However, there are many people in here who get to a point in their life where they realize how much pain they've caused. They realize how destructive the life they live, and they begin to transform. They begin to change, and they turn their life around. And that's why it's important to see this, because on this channel we've documented those journeys of people, and we've shown to give you guys a different side of it, so you're not just sitting there with that perspective, that perception is like, look at these people, look at, like, I can't believe they're doing this, I can't believe they're letting people out of prison, I can't believe they're giving these guys tablets, I can't believe, you know, these guys, and if you are a victim of a crime, or you're closely connected to a victim of a crime, your feelings are valid 100%. Like, in no way, shape, or form do we say any of this to convince you that you have to feel some other way, or some sympathy, or some understanding for us, because we would never have a right for that. But there is another side to the people in here. There are people in here who are doing the hard and necessary work to ensure that we never harm another human being again. We are doing the work necessary to dig inside ourselves to understand what made it okay to live the lifestyle that we did. How did we justify? How did we get so warped and so dysfunctional that we thought it was okay to make the decisions that we did that harmed and hurt so many people along the way? And by documenting these journeys, you get to see where we came from, how we got there, where we are today, and for a lot of people, they've grown to appreciate the process and the journey, and you get to see Ricky. If you look, you guys are going to see Ricky.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
At first appearance, you're going to be like, damn, this dude looks, you know, he's all tatted up, you know, he looks like a convict, he looks like a bad dude. But you talk to him, you get around him, you get in his presence, he's super humble, he's super cool, and you're going to be like, wow, okay, you know what, maybe I was wrong. And so that's why it's important to document and to stream his release, because, like James said, you're following the story full circle. If you listen to what brought him to prison, you listen to the life he lived, you listen to his journey along the way in prison, and then you listen to his recovery in his rehabilitation journey, you'll see who the man is that's standing in front of you today, and now you get to see it in its full circle. And there's no doubt in my mind that Ricky will never come back to prison again. Ricky will never be in here again. This man is truly ready for success in society, you know, and so it's important that you guys get another perspective and another perception of what's going on in prison. You know, it's not everything that you see on TV. It's not everything that you see in the movies. Those things are happening, but because they're investing in people in here, prison was full of hopeless souls and hopeless people, hopeless individuals that had nothing else in their life, and they believed that this was their only options. Even though we know that's not the case, there was always another option. But when you can only see as far as your nose, and you can only see the misery that's in your heart and in your head and in your life, you feel that, hey, you know what, if I'm miserable like this, then everybody around me should be miserable. If life has dealt me such a shitty hand, well, then I have no problem dealing it right back to the people around me. And so what James is doing is he's showing you that, hey, you know what, it may be 1 out of 1,000, or it may be 1 out of a few hundred, but there are men in there who are taking advantage of the opportunities presented to them by the California Department of Rehabilitation. And I'm telling you, like, you need to see that these guys out there that are getting released, people like myself, like David, like Ricky, like the other men who have, Pablo and Joe and other guys who James has documented getting out of prison. These guys, they're going to be productive members of society because they've taken full advantage of what, you know, CDC has offered them in their rehabilitation and recovery. And so that's why I think it's important for you guys to see that, because you're going to see that they didn't just release a murderer, they released a good man.
Yeah, you know, the crazy part is you know, out there's a lot of violence that's advertised now in the world, and the prison system is no different. The prison system is it's a small, closed-off community of people. There's 90,000 probably a little over, a little less right now in the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. And
down from 180.
yeah, he was a lot higher. But the thing is, look, in this 90-something thousand people, there's not a lot of whack jobs in the system. There's a lot of hurt people. There's a lot of traumatized people. There's a lot of people that are here for all kinds of crimes, bad acts. But the real violent people are a small percentage that are continuously committing violence on a daily basis. There's guys in here that are freaking nightmares for certain institutions. They have a lot of power, a lot of control. I'm not going to say any specific gangs or whatnot, but you know, there's some powerful people in prison that are responsible for a lot of bad things that happen in here. But
even those guys are the same.
Yeah, they're yeah.
Don't understand.
Maybe and some of them are trapped in the system. They're trapped in their system. They've done certain things and they became trapped in their own world, you know. And those are the guys that, you know, Jesse and I know, and we, you know, I feel terrible for a lot of those guys because we see the good heart in them. There's some people, but they're going to do what they do. That's what they know, you know. But the other, let's say 10,000, right? And we're even speaking kind of high on that. Out of 90,000, right? Would you say, Jess, that there's at least 10,000 ride or die?
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
I believe it's a lot less. I'm talking about
10,000 what? Just truly dangerous people?
Yeah. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, but no. Would you say it would be more?
No, I would say there's
I think we're being generous, but
yeah,
we're talking about the diehards. We're talking about the diehards. I'm not talking about any specific gang. I'm not talking about any specific race. I'm putting everybody together out of all of the factions in the California prison system. Doesn't matter if they're on S&Y, GP, 180 level 4. We're saying 10,000 diehard fucking people.
But even then, though, right? Like I think even then in that number, it's still a because this is the thing, right? Let's be real about it. You and I were that person at one time. So every last one of those people have redeemable qualities. There are a handful of true, you know, psycho and sociopaths. Like there's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing. You know, you got some of these freaking whack jobs.
What do you think that number is out of the 90,000?
I would say that's probably about, you know, maybe about 3,000 people.
Okay.
You know, like they're just irredeemable. Like these people, I don't even think irredeemable is a word, is it?
I sounds, but we know what you mean.
Yeah.
Unredeemable. Irredeemable. It sounds good. Like these people cannot be redeemed. Like they are.
Like they're just truly, you know, freaking weirdos like that Kohlberger cat that just for the sake of no other reason, just other than just to be freaking weird, you know.
So in a system though, what I'm doing, my point though, the system, right, has 90 plus or minus, you know, right there, plus or minus close to 90,000 people. We're saying in the 10,000 people, we're gonna add the 3,000 to those 10,000, right? And so we know that they're in there somewhere in the 10,000. But 80,000 people are regular people trying to survive in a freaking environment. You know, and those 10,000 people are not all together. They're scattered. They're what makes a yard dangerous. It'll be a few of them here and there. There'll be
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
So do not the other 80,000 people have some right to their peaceful existence?
I can't. I think that that perspective I think is inaccurate.
Okay, because I want to go more. This is great.
Hey,
this is what I want to hear more.
I
love when Jesse gets fired up. Yeah.
Let me ask you something before you guys hang up. Do they have visits today at the prison?
Yeah.
Because I keep on seeing a bunch of cars pass by.
Yeah.
Friday.
Yes, there's visits at 11 o'clock.
Damn, they're already here?
No, 12 o'clock. But I don't think those are visitors. Those are late. Those are nurses and stuff coming in.
Yeah, it's kind of early for visits.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm currently outside Sentinel State Prison in the state of California, in the city of hold on. The city is in the Imperial Valley, the Valle Imperial, if you will. Anyhow, we're waiting for the release of Mr. Ricky Black, or my man Ricky Black, if you will. If you guys could go ahead and do me a favor, if you guys could go ahead and share this stream, I would highly appreciate it. Let's try to get the numbers up and bring in some new potential subscribers.
Esta es Global
This call is
Telling.
now being
Usted
recorded.
tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Sentinel, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5.
Ricky is getting
Gracias por
released. Yep.
utilizar Global Telling.
They can be fixed.
James.
David.
Yes. All right. So Jesse has
Hold
a different.
on. Are we on the right number?
Hey, did I call the right number?
It don't matter. We're on.
I auto dial a lot.
I'm not sure what number you call, but
All right.
if you're calling the 4475, my lady will be telling, hey, your phone kept on ringing all day. Or my daughter will tell me, Papa, your phone was ringing all day, the prison phone.
No, I auto dial. Because me and Jess, we were in a conversation about this right now, so I happen to auto dial. Dial without thought. But hey, Jesse has a great perspective on this numbers game, and he had a freaking excellent perspective on it. Jess, go.
Yeah. So with all those numbers, and I'm not 100% sure exactly what the context or where we were going to go with the conversation. But
Ricky's in there somewhere.
Yeah. No, I disagreed with the numbers on the reality. Is prison is predominantly filled with people who are dangerous people. Period. No matter how you spin it, that's the truth about that. There's a small percentage of people in prison who are actually not dangerous, but are they dangerous because that's their nature, or are they dangerous because that when David was talking about those numbers of 10,000 or 3,000 or whatever it is, there's a small nucleus of individuals in prison that are truly dangerous, and they definitely pull the strings of the other people. Because when you're a gang member or you're involved in a criminal lifestyle, you may not walk around thinking, I want to be violent, I want to do this, I want to do that. But if somebody else tells you to do it, you're going to do it without thinking about it, because a lot of people in prison can't think for themselves.
You know the image that came to mind when you said that? Fire ants.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
You get that little ant walking around trying to carry a leaf back to the hill, but guess what? If something falls next to that ant and that's edible, they're gonna be all over that thing like flies on shit.
Yep. And so, but you go back to all that, like not too far off to the side. And what James is trying to do is James is capturing the visual. He's giving society a visual aid of that small population who is actually doing what they're supposed to do. And when I say small, it's growing. It's growing because people are looking from the left and the right, and the system is starting to realize, hey, you know what? Instead of just locking these guys up and putting them in dreadful conditions, why don't we start, investing in them, because most of these guys are going to get back out anyway. Let's give them resources like an education, like vocational training, like counseling. Let's give them stuff that can make them a better citizen when they return, so that they can get out here and they have marketable skills. They have an opportunity to try to succeed. Let's start to address some of the social issues. And so, yes, prison definitely breeds madness, and it's definitely a place for evil and danger and wickedness. But there is a small population in here who's doing what they got to do, and that population is growing. Ricky's a part of that population, and because of that,
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
The gatekeepers.
The gatekeepers have given him an opportunity to get back out to society and prove that he's worthy of their trust, because they're entrusting Ricky to go back out there and follow the social contract that the world has put on everybody, because we abandoned it before. We were considered antisocial, and they put us in prison for the rest of our lives because we chose to operate outside the norms of society. but that's not Ricky anymore. That's not Dave anymore. That's not I. And there's many people in here who are doing what they got to do to get back out there, and so that's what James is doing. He's capturing the essence of who those people are. Like, hey, look, look at what this guy's doing. Look what that guy's doing. And hopefully, when you got somebody who moves in next door to you, who may be coming out of prison, you might be able to see him through a different light. Like, oh man, look at this. This guy's actually all right. I never would have imagined. I have friends out there who are doing great things, and people, like, when they find out they were in prison for 25 years, they can't believe it. They're like, man, what? Like, I can't believe you. What? You were in prison for 25? What? You killed somebody? Wow, I would have never known.
Yep. Hey, Ricky too. Him and okay. So I told you about the meatheads, right, James? You know about the meathead workout crew?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So I'm one of the meathead workout crew freaking people, right? And let me tell you this: Ricky Chio is one of them. Chio works out. Man, he works out, if not more than anybody that I've seen in the system. He's a workout machine. Ricky and Chio goes home tomorrow. Ricky and Chio went freaking like madmen this past freaking month. I haven't seen anything like it. These fucking dudes, man. They did workouts. They did so much freaking exercise that Ricky looks like a fitness junkie right now when he's gonna walk out. I expect him to walk out with this because he has long hair. So with the fitness people, how they wear like their ponytail freaking like tied back, and he's gonna have a sleeveless cut off shirt.
Yeah. It's gonna be the Gold's Gym cut off
Gold's Gym shirt.
Yeah. Some weightlifting gloves when he walks out.
Yeah. That man is fit. That man can run home.
Around his biceps.
He can run home right now. Yeah, you could do your interview with him on the side of the freaking car when you're driving.
Yeah, put the microphone out the window and he's going to chase the car like a dog.
That man is super fit. He didn't come out prison swole though. He's not Ricky. That's not his build.
Well, they don't have prison swole anymore. There is no prison
yourself.
Yeah,
I'm not even prison swole. I'm pretty fit
because there's no weights.
Yeah, there's no weights.
Yeah, there's no weights. So it's really. I mean, when's the last time you actually seen like what we used to see as kids? The dudes that came out freaking 240 pounds, all upper body, no legs.
Yep. Yeah. No. Yeah, they don't have weight. The only thing that we have in here is like pull-ups and like water and stuff like that. People lift a lot of water bags and shit, but you can only get so big with that too.
And they don't feed you the same anymore. You don't take in the kind of protein and the kind of nutrients that you used to back in the day to gain the weight to get buff.
Yeah, they don't sell creatine and those types of things on the freaking package catalog. And, yeah, there was a lot of big dudes back in the day. I'm considered a pretty big dude myself in here, and I'm not nowhere near what those dudes were. But so Ricky should be out. What time do you think he's going to be out, James?
I'm hoping in about on the next 30 minutes. When the cop called me, he said that he was gonna be out here in about an hour and a half. So it's been about an hour. And from my past experiences, when I picked up Joe and Jeremiah, they got released before 8 a.m. So and around 7:30. So I'm hoping they're able to keep that. I did ask him if anybody else was gonna get released. They told me there was one other individual supposed to get released, and I asked him, hey, if I was, because he mentioned to me that individual's family they hadn't picked up the phone. So I was like, well, would that hinder Ricky's release? And he was like, nah, it won't. I was like, all right, then cool. So he was like, yeah, just be ready. He was like, if you want, go to the town. It's 3 miles down. Go get a coffee with her. It'll be about an hour and a half.
Well, because I got to go to work. I go to work around 7:45.
Okay.
About 7:40, 7:45.
Yeah.
Same with Jesse, but he's always late. So, but that's generally our time, But I'm glad we get to be here with you guys. I didn't go to breakfast, so I'm gonna starve. I'm gonna starve throughout the day. It's worth it. It's 100% to spend some time with you guys. Who we got on here right now? James, I need to know.
Man, we got Linda, we got Linda A, we got Void You Out. Let me see. We got Act Up, we got Kelsey, Not Grammar. We got Kelly, we got Irene. Let me see who else do we got. We got somebody from the 619. We got, damn, I can't even see this name right here. My vision is jacked. I think it's Megan. I think it says. We got Hussey, I believe. We got Boyd. We got Kimberly. Let me see here. Yeah, we got Irene's asking
That's cool.
she wants to know if Prop 57 is still in effect, and we got Cindy
If what?
V. If Prop 57 is still in effect.
Prop 57 is still in effect.
Yeah,
they put a delay on the milestone earning for lifers, but I mean, I'm one of those people that got affected by that. Pablo, man, he had to do like a whole extra year damn near on that, and I believe they're putting a bill in place right now.
Well, they stalled it out to next year, I think.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a bill that they put into place so that they can restore Prop 57 credit earning for lifers. And what that means, right? So I have technically a life sentence. Jesse has a life sentence. I was sentenced to 40 years. That's 40 years to life. So under Prop 57, it says, well, that's a mandatory minimum, which means that I'm not supposed to become eligible for parole until I've served 40 years. So that's a long time. So under Prop 57, it says, well, we're going to let time come off your sentence for good behavior, credit earning, and those are from milestones. That's what they call it. You reach a milestone, you get time off, like college degrees and stuff, right? So I have a lot of milestones. And then under Prop 57, it says that I would have to only I become eligible for parole after I've served 66% of my sentence. So that took a lot of time off. That took 40 years and turned it into, like, I don't know. I ended up getting like my date was 2052. My board date was 2052. And under Prop 57, it became, in milestones and everything, now my date's at 2039. So that was a lot of time. That was over 10 years that they took off. Then, not only that, is another law went into effect for elderly parole, which means when I'm 50 years old and I've been in for 20 continuous years, I have an opportunity to go to board. And that put my board date at 2031. So now I go to board in like 6 years. So that's a big difference from...
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
I've been in for 15 years, so it's when I'm at 20 years, I'll be eligible. So that's huge. So that's what that means. So then they sued the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation over the credit earning. It was a district attorney from up north. I think Central California did it. They sued CDCR. Oh, from Sacramento. Yeah, they sued Sacramento. Said that, well, it's not right they're doing this, and so that put an injunction. They put a stall on all credit earning. So that basically kept people in limbo. Any time that came off for Prop 57 was basically, it's not going to be honored until the resolution of the lawsuit. So if you get a board date based on your milestones, you're going to sit in prison and have to do the rest of your time. And that's what it is.
For now,
yeah.
It's in court. They're going to rule on it, I think, in May in the court on that actual lawsuit that stalled it out. So hopefully they'll hear something sooner than later.
They'll start kicking people out.
Yep. Because there's several guys here who have already been found suitable that are actually stuck here because they're...
In a sense, though, all the milestones that come off my sentence, they come off of the match date, which is the 2039 date, and I go to board in 2031 anyway. So I'm not really tripping on it, What I am tripping on, though, James, is my court date. I'm tripping hard on that.
And when is that coming up?
Well, I have court this month. It's August 1st, so I got court sometime this month. But they're going to put it off for another few months, probably like another 4 months, and I might have my hearing then. And then that's for resentencing completely to take off the gun enhancement. If they take off that gun enhancement, I'll go to board immediately.
Okay, well, that's definitely...
So that's pretty serious, because I got 2 life sentences, 2 separate life sentences. So the life sentence for the actual 187 is done in September. So once that life sentence is done, then I'm just going to be doing the enhancement time. So if they remove the enhancements, it's not physics. I'm out of here.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
not crazy math to figure out, right? Yep.
No, it's not. It's not.
Yep. Yep. So we'll give you a call back right now, James.
All right, cool. We'll be
Call
waiting.
back.
All right. So somebody asked me. So there's two individuals on the phone right now. We got Jesse Nava, and we also got David Lopez, and they're both in prison for the same type of crime. They took an individual's life. Two separate incidences, but they do know each other from the streets. You know, growing up in the system, they knew each other from juvenile hall, and then they hung out on the street. So hopefully that answers whoever asked that question. My apologies for not being able to get into the chat and whatnot.
Este
Call is
Global
now being
Telling,
recorded.
usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado en de la prisión estatal de Sentinel, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por
Cinco.
utilizar Global Telling.
Hello,
James.
David.
Yep.
Hey, James.
Yep.
So what do you plan on doing? You're gonna do the interview right there with Ricky when he steps out. You guys gonna do the interview right here in the front, and then what's your next move?
Shit. Well, first get something to eat because I haven't ate anything since yesterday. So I gotta get some fuel, and then Ricky, I believe he wanted to stop by the DMV to check if he could get his ID issued. So we'll go ahead and check that out, and then from there, I don't know, we'll probably go eat again because we'll be eating breakfast in the morning, and then by the time we get on the road and go grab lunch, and then I don't know, just see what Ricky wants to do. I don't know, maybe he wants to go to the beach, maybe he wants to go to Six Flags. Maybe he wants to take a tour around LA to see, what he's gonna be dealing with. So pretty much whatever Ricky wants to do. I do have I got some hours before I gotta get back home. So pretty much I'm up for anything right now.
Okay. Yeah, because Ricky's never been to LA too, so it's gonna be especially after coming out of this place, this controlled environment into the big city. He's gonna be like, wow, Hey, you gonna go get the painting from Pablo?
Oh yeah, we're gonna meet up with Pablo. So Pablo's actually Pablo. He told me to let you guys know he sends his, and he just got a job. So he was actually gonna be going to work today. He was gonna be working from 4 to 8. So I told him to let me know where he works at, so I could swoop him up, and then I could pick up the painting from him.
Ooh, from 4 to 8 in the tarde?
What was that?
He's going to be working from 4 to 8 in the evening or 4 to 8 in the morning?
Oh, I mean, sorry. He's going to be working from 8 to 4. So from 8 in the morning to 4 in the...
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oh, okay. And that's going to be in L.A.? What's he doing?
You know what? I'm not sure. I wasn't able to have that conversation because he called me right after David had called me in the morning. So it was just brief. So, but I'll go ahead and double check with him once I meet up with him later on.
That's tight. Yeah, send ours to him and stuff. Tell him it's good to hear that he's doing good and he got a job. Everything's coming together for him. If you get a chance, ask him if Richard's right there in the transitional housing with him.
Okay, yeah. Richard just he recently got out.
Yeah. Remember Rich? I think you had talked to him a long time ago too.
Oh, okay, Martinez.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'll double check with him.
Yeah, because I think somebody said he went to Long Beach, so I think he might be right there with Pablo, unless there's other transitional housings in Long Beach,
Yeah. So somebody in the chat is asking, is somebody getting out? Yeah, we're actually right outside Sentinel State Prison. I'm not sure from the stream if you guys could read any of those signs right there. But yeah, we're waiting for Ricky Black, my man, Ricky Black, to get out of prison. He's been in prison for over 25 years at this point. So we're just waiting for him to get delivered here, get dropped off, and pick his brain and do an interview with him.
Yep. That's my man, Ricky Black. That's cool. I want to see. I want to see how because it hadn't really settled in too much last night. But it's kind of hard when he's had all the obstacles that he had, after being found suitable the first time, to actually make it out of here. So he didn't really see like with Blue. We seen it the night before he left. You could see it in him. Like, man, the reality set in that he was getting out the next morning, and so you could see a little bit of glow in Ricky, but not the same. So I want to see how it is when he's actually standing outside the prison and there's no cops or there's no potential for being put back in cuffs.
Hey, but with Ricky, it's been a roller coaster with him. With him being found suitable, and then the when they try to transcribe the audio on yeah, when they try to do that, and it was all
Right.
jumbled up and whatnot, and then they took his data away. So I could imagine, at this point, but his second time around, I guess he probably won't believe it till he gets off that van.
Yep. No, definitely, and it's understandable. It's understandable because when you've lived a life full of disappointments, and then you're doing all these things to set yourself up for success, and then unexpected roadblocks like this that are completely out of your control. There's nothing you could do about it. It can be a little discouraging, and he took it on the chin pretty well though, which is just another indicator of the man that he is today. So that's cool, and yeah, him and I were talking about it too, and like I was saying earlier, like I feel that I'm going to end up running into a bunch of, because even in my advancement hearing, they chose to.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Like, they granted my advancement, they put me on for January 28th, and then they chose to audit it to check and make sure that there was nothing wrong with the decision that they made. Like, well, why would you audit it? Like, they've already reviewed my stuff and decided that it was time to advance, but then they audited it to make sure that there wasn't a mix-up or there wasn't information that would prevent their decision from being the right decision, and they moved my date back 2 days. So I think that's already a sign that I'm going to be running into a couple roadblocks along the way. I expect to get in bonk too, just like Ricky did, but also like there's always the chance they could deny me again too. When you have a history, when you have a long history, they could always give you another denial just because they want to see how you're going to react to it, But we'll see. Hopefully not. Hopefully everything works out, and I'll be out of here. But I understand Ricky's, apprehension about, feeling the joy and excitement about it because you never know what's going to happen. And Blue was saying the same thing all the way up to the night before. After the night before, he was like, you know what? This is it. And like Dave said, when Ricky was walking out right now, he stopped at the door and he put a little bin of some stuff in front of my door, and he was like, man, it's real. It's real. So I think it was gonna settle.
Yeah, and somebody in the chat is asking. They asked me, how I met you guys, and so I had a buddy that was in prison here about a little bit over 2 years ago, and I had mentioned to him that I wanted to start up a YouTube channel, and to have individuals that were in prison, share their journeys with me and with us, and it pretty much the rest is history. We connected, and we've been documenting their journey for the last 2 years, and here we are today, standing in front of Sentinel State Prison. It's come full circle, and I can't wait for Jesse and David to come out and bring the fellas with me. Hopefully they'll be off parole by the time Jesse gets out, and hopefully we're able to be, either bring Joe or Pablo when you get out.
Yeah. And that's a weird little loophole too, right? Because you're not allowed around any parolees. You're not allowed around, but yet you live in a house full of parolees. You got to go to everywhere you got to go. It's got to be associating with some level of parolee, but you're just not allowed to hang out with any of the parolees you decide to hang out with. Like if I wanted to hang out with Blue, because I know this guy's a part of my support network. He understands. It's illegal. It's illegal. But if they decide it's okay for me to hang out with Blue, or they decide that it's mandated that I hang out with Blue because I got to go to a meeting with him. Approved. Yeah, approved. it's a trip, you know. But like I said, they're the professionals. I'm just here to follow the rules and figure it out.
Right.
But
Yep.
I'm definitely I'm going to be working with Blue. I'm going to be on a construction site working in San Diego, so I'm going to be working with a bunch of parolees or something, because the construction sites are full of people that are. So I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work, but I think in the job space, I think it'll be acceptable.
You know what's crazy is that. So I opened up a cup that Ricky left us some items, right? Like a couple cups, and he's got these like Looney Tunes characters on them. He's got Mickey Mouse on one. He's got Donald Duck on the other one. They're like glued on there, he did a good job on it. But a spoon came out, and there's a little napkin. There's a napkin, right? And the napkin says, "Best spoon ever. 12 years, 4 prisons. Treat it well." It's a little sport. It's a little brown sport.
Hey, I'm gonna ask him about that when he gets out.
That's my man. You ask him about that. Be like, hey, they got this spoon right here. He's terrified. He's afraid something's gonna happen to it. Got your note. Best spoon ever. Ask him what it was like parting with that spoon.
Yeah.
That's the thing that happens with convicts, with people incarcerated for long periods of time, is they get emotionally attached to items.
Horrible things.
Yeah.
Like this shirt that I'm holding right now.
Definitely.
This shirt right here, James, this is my work shirt. I have tape on 2 parts of this shirt.
That
literally
shirt looks like a cami. Looks like lingerie.
It's see-through. I have to wear a shirt under it. And it's a button-up shirt, and they don't give us button-up shirts no more. And I work in a shop. Like I said, I work in a real prison shop, James. Prison shit's going on in there. I need a work shirt. The only thing this thing doesn't have is a name tag on it from like a auto mechanic shop.
I got some patches right there that if you want to...
I need a name tag, Jess.
Yeah, you want to go official with it. I got a couple patches for my certification.
It's going to say Dave.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't even go by Dave. I go by David, but this one has to say Dave.
Yeah, this one has to say Dave to give it the authentic shot. Yeah.
This collar is literally held together by threads that have split. Yep. I would never be caught dead in something like this out there. Prison's a very a very different place.
Hey, James, did they say other people were going to be getting out today?
They said just one person.
Yeah.
One person?
Yeah, one person, and his family didn't pick up.
That's not a good sign.
Yeah. Nope.
No. Well, looks like you're going to be picking up 2 guys, James.
Yep.
Hey, let me ask you.
You grab them right there, be like, hey.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, you're going to have to stop him when he gets off, like, hey, I understand your people aren't here, so check it out. We're running this podcast. You mind doing an interview? Yep. See what he says.
Why didn't you answer?
Yeah, just be like, hey, how long you been down? Where you coming from? What's your story? Have you ever made a collect call?
Yep. Hey, for those of you, yep, because we probably got like another call left at the most, before we got to go to work. But, any of you guys out there, you guys feel free to hit us up.
Hey.
We got tablets. We love talking to you guys. Yep. What's up?
No, go ahead. I'll say something right now when you're done.
No, I was just gonna tell everybody, man. Like I'm telling you, we met some great friends on this channel. You guys do not hesitate to hit us up. I'm sure, James, you got our CDC numbers right there, both of us.
Yeah, well, I got them on the videos on YT. But yeah, if anybody wants their information and they want to, you guys want to
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
You guys want to reach out to them? You guys could you DM me. I could provide you with their full names and their CDCR numbers. And yeah, there's that.
My CDCR number is AW7785. Jesse's is G03933. Gotta know your boy's CDC number. Yep.
What are we going to ask right now, James?
So I was going to ask you. I had mentioned to Silas if you could call up after you guys were headed out to work. I'm not sure if you guys were able to talk to him or if he mentioned it to you guys. But if you guys could notify him.
He was. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he said he was, and that he's gonna do the interview.
He was gonna call at 7:30.
He's gonna do the Ricky Black interview.
Okay, for sure. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And then what I was thinking is, after I get off work today, when I get off work, I'll try to get a hold of you.
Okay, yeah. And to what
See
time
what you guys are doing.
And to what time are you working today?
Well, I get out about 1:30. I gotta go to the library. I gotta go to the library until like 3.
Okay.
But I could
okay.
still.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
I'm still trying to get a hold of touch base. Do you wanna cut the calls right now, or do you want us to call back?
Oh, are you talking to me or to Jesse?
No, to you. You want us to give you a call back?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, cool.
What time are you flying out, James?
Whenever I drop off Ricky Black, I'm flying on standby. So you know, as soon as I drop him off, then I'll beeline to the airport and I'm out.
Must be nice. Hey, I will call you back.
All right, for sure. All right. Let me see. Who are you picking up? I'm picking up Ricky, my man, Ricky Black. I'm outside Sentinel State Prison. Hi. I didn't see anybody. Where are you flying to? I'm flying back home, and then I'm flying. I gotta be home. I gotta be home no later than today, because if not, I'm gonna have problems with my wife, because we're going on vacation tomorrow. We're gonna be going to Central America, if you will. So you know, I'm on a very a tight schedule.
This call is now being recorded. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
Hey, where are you?
un
Sentinel State
individuo
Prison.
encarcelado en de la prisión estatal de Sentinel, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el... Gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
Hello.
James.
Yup.
Yep. What's up?
All right. Oops. See, trying to adjust my phone right there.
So what do we got?
Let me see. Let me look at the phone right here to check
Cool.
if we got any comments or anything. Let me see here. Let me see. Somebody put... Hey, I stay all over the place. I'm here one day, gone the next. Let me see. Let me see. Somebody wrote, someone is happy getting out today. Yes, yeah. Ricky Black is getting out. Hey, what's up, Shannon? How's it going? Shannon Rice, welcome back to Cali. James, hey, gracias. Highly appreciate that. Let me see. Who you meeting today? Ricky Black. And we're currently on the phone with Jesse and David. They are cellies. They're in the same.
Shannon's we're in Sentinel. Shannon sounds like a strong name. Not a strong name, Shannon.
Yep. Hey, she's a regular. Hey.
Yeah.
So, hey, highly appreciate you, Shannon. Appreciate you. Yep. She's always in the chat.
Yep.
Hey, you know what? Earlier on, somebody had asked me. They wanted to know how long you guys had been in prison. Maybe they missed it. You know, there's always people, you know, coming in and out, so they ask the same questions. If you guys wouldn't mind, you know, sharing, you know, who you guys are and how long you guys been in prison for.
I've been in prison for 15 years. My name is David Isaac Lopez. Been in prison for 15 years. I'm serving a life sentence. I got 40 years to life for 187.
And my name's Jesse Nava. I've been in prison for 24 years.
That's what it is.
Thank you. And let me see, I got a question from Ellis, and they're asking when they get out, what's the first thing they want to do?
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
You know, the crazy part is that I'm more interested in getting to the DMV than anything else. I need to shit. When I get out, that's what I want to do. That's exactly what I do. My most important things I need to take care of first. I ain't trying to go to the beach yet. I'm gonna do all that stuff after. I want to go straight to the DMV, go straight to the Social Security office, get my cards, get all my information and my documents, and I honestly just want to go to work. I want to go to work. I got a great job lined up. I want to go and I want to just meet up with my boys. You know, Jesse will be out by then. Silas, you know, hopefully Ricky will be over there. Pablo, like, just want to go and spend time with my community, man, and just watch everybody just be happy. You know, and those are the things we've gone through a lot of suffering and a lot of pain, and I just want to see smiles on my boys' faces, you know, out of this place. And to me, that's better than going to some superficial place or eating some meal or, you know, like all that stuff will come, you know. But it's just that peace of mind. That's the first thing that I want to do is just have a peace of mind. You know,
And let me see. Shannon wrote.
not have to worry about it.
Let me see. Shannon wrote.
Okay.
That's good. That's a good goal after getting out. Let me see. Somebody else wrote. Let me see. Ellis wrote. That's amazing that he wants to get to the base. He wants to get the basics done. Let me see. Megan writes. I'm from Wales, so it's different here. And they're asking, you got
I want to do a whole show on Wales. Go ahead.
She was asking if you have 25 years left.
No, I go to board in 2031. So about 6 years.
And let me see. Sophie is asking, what's one piece of advice they would give to the youth about prison?
Don't come here.
Don't ever come here.
Don't listen to none of the shows or hype or anything like that. Like, this place right here is a miserable place. Think about all the freedoms that you have and all of that. I mean, we're talking the little things. We don't get to go to the beach. Those of us that have life sentences might never get to see a beach again. We don't get to play with a dog. We don't get to have those things. You know, just being able to get on TikTok, like we have to call through the tablet. Like, there's people that do illegal shit and they use phones. We don't use those. But just think about the small things that you love doing in your life, because those things will be taken away from you in prison. We're locked in a cell right now. You know, when the door opens, I get to go to work, but everything is very structured here. My cell, I can reach out and touch both my walls right now with my hands. That's how small the cell is. And I'm in here with my brother, which is cool. You know, I mean, bad for, you know, it sucks that I got to be in here, you know, with him like this, but at least it's somebody that I know, you know. But people that are in prison, you're in here with strangers in a small ass cell. You know, and there's people that come in here with guys that it don't work out, you know. There's shellies that kill each other in here. Shellies that do other shit to each other. You know, so it's all bad. Stay out of this place.
Hey, we got Maribel Vasquez just typing in. Hey, what's up, Maribel?
Yeah, finally. What's going on, Maribel? Where you been? I know it's early in the morning, but, you know, what's going on here? Nah, we're glad to have you. We're here for the boy Ricky Black getting out. Finally, my man Ricky Black. We say that a lot because he calls everybody my man. That's what he says.
What's up, my man?
What's up, my man? That's what he always says. So we always say that to him.
Let me see. I got another question from Megan, and she writes. Let me see here. She's asking, can you ask him if you get sentenced to 40 years, do you serve 20? The UK does this.
No, here you're supposed to serve 40, but Prop 57 changed that. Yeah, 40's if you get sentenced to 40 years, you could get 40 years with half. You'll give you half time and you'll do 20. But if you have a violent offense, like ones that Jesse and I are in prison for, especially ours, it carries. They call it 40 years with the L. That's why the term lifer came up, because the L stands for life. So, which means that the minimum you have to serve is 40 years. The maximum is the rest of your life. So, you don't get out after 40 years. You have to go to the parole board. You become eligible to see a board so that they can assess if you're still a danger to public safety. And that's how that works out. So that's why you have guys that serve 50 years, if they get a long time, because they get to board, and the board says, well, this he hasn't changed anything. Come back in 5 years. Come back in 3 years. Come back in 7 years. And that's how the time starts to stack up. There's guys that'll come back in 5 years, and they're still not ready. They're like, all right, we'll see you in another 5. And so, boom, that 40 turns into 50 just like that. And eventually, people just give up, and they just start using drugs again and committing violence, and that's how that works. You can be sentenced to 40 years with 85%, You'll do a portion of that, which means you'll become eligible after you've served 85%. But, no, my sentence is a little different because I have the L attached, which is, we call it the kickstand. We got that. If you get an L, it's not good. But laws have changed, which actually make me eligible for parole after I've served 20 years. So technically, they gave me half time. That's weird how that worked out. But,
Let me see.
yeah,
Let me
that's
see.
what it is.
Let me see. And they want to know how long has Ricky Black been in prison?
25 years. He just did 25 years.
I had asked him that yesterday on the way to chow yesterday too. I said, how does it feel, Ricky? Because every time every one of us has gotten out of an institution, we've all been doing time our whole life. Ricky Black's been doing time for over 40 years. And I told him, hey, every time that you've ever gotten out of an institution, you knew you'd be coming back. There was no doubt in your mind you knew you'd be coming back because that's what everybody was doing, and that's where all your boys were. You knew you weren't getting out of prison or getting out of YA or getting out of juvenile hall or getting out of placement to go out there and become a productive member of society. You were going right back to the hood to do everything you knew. And I told him, how did it feel knowing that you're going to walk out of here after 25 years and know that you don't have the comfort of knowing you get to come back? And he started laughing. I was like, because it was comfort. Because when you go out to society knowing that you don't have to live within the perimeters of society, you have no responsibility, you have no worries, you don't care, you're just living for the day. There's no worries out there. It's like, whatever, it is what it is. I'll be back when I get back. I'll see you guys when I get back.
No, it's true.
And so I told him, I said, hey, how does it feel knowing that this place is never an option again? That you're going to walk out of here and you will never see another institution again unless you make the choice to come back to visit somebody or to be a part of some dance, what is it? Initiate Justice or ARC or one of these, organizations. And he was just like, man, he goes, it's crazy, it's a trip, it's surreal, that.
It's crazy how it happens.
Look back.
It's crazy how it happens because I've been in the system for almost 30 years. I've been in for.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
I came in. I've been in since 2010 right now, like where I haven't gotten out. But I actually came into the prison system in 2000, and I went into the juvenile system in the 90s, in the mid 90s. And it's like Jesse was saying, you get out. I got out as a kid. I went in as a kid. I went in high school. Came out when I was 17, and I was already back in prison. I was in prison by the time I was 18 years old, in men's prison. And both of us have had back then they had what they called indeterminate shoe terms, where I lived in the hole. I lived in the prison of the prison. That's where I did my time, because I was deemed that I was too violent. I was a threat to the safety and security of the institution, so they didn't want me around other prisoners. Every time they let me out of the hole, I would hurt somebody and be right back. I wanted to be where the killers were. I wanted to be with the gang leaders. Like, that's where I did my time, and that takes a piece of who you are. It's no doubt that I got out in 2000. I got out in 2008, and I was back for a murder in 2010. It took a long time to realize it's not about my environment, who I was around. It was me. I was the problem, and I wasn't able to change it, the way I was living, until I realized that I was the problem, and everything had to come from within. It doesn't matter who I'm around. I'm around dangerous people here, but that has nothing to do with me. I gotta change has to be, what do you call it, intrinsic?
What is it?
Intrinsic?
Intrinsic?
Yep. I should be coming from within. What else you got though for us, James?
Let me see here. Let me see. I think there was some confusion on your sentence. Somebody put, let me see here. He said, guy on the phone on the call said he got a board. He got a board in 6 years, but he said he has to do the full 40 years. Can he explain?
Yes. So it's crazy because so they passed.
Oh, there Ricky Black is
elderly
coming.
parole,
Ricky
right?
Black is coming. I think he's coming.
Oh, is he?
I hope so. I hope. I see the van. I see the van here. Let's see.
Comes the van.
Here comes the van. Is it my
Hey,
man
for those
Ricky
of you
Black?
that want to look up my
Yep.
Those of you that want to look up my case, my name is David Isaac Lopez. You could just Google my case, and you could also look on the CDCR website. And I qualified for laws that allowed me to go to board early because I would have been in for prison for 20 years of continuous incarceration, and I'm 50 years old. Well, I'll be 50 years old. So they're going to give me an opportunity to go to board.